In this video, we are going to talk about how to lay out your page in SwiftUI. To lay out your page in SwiftUI, what we use is stack view. We have three types of stacks. One is HStack, VStack, and ZStack. With HStack, you can lay out your views horizontally, VStack vertically, and as you can guess, with ZStack, you can lay out your views on top of each other. Now let's jump into Xcode and see examples for HStack, VStack, and ZStack. So let's go back to Xcode and let's write our first HStack. And inside this HStack, let's create some rectangles and then give it a width of 100 and height of 100. There's our first rectangle. Let's just copy paste it. And as you can see in our preview, we already have three rectangles aligned horizontally. Let's give it some different color. Let's give it a yellow and then let's give this one a green. So we have our three rectangles aligned horizontally in our preview. Now let's say if we want to make it a V stack, all we have to do is just change this edge to V. It's as simple as that. We have our rectangles aligned in vertical. Now you may be thinking why this extra space is between these rectangles. So we can remove that as well because VStacks comes with default spacing of 8. So if you want to remove it, you have to call out the parameter which is called spacing and then give it a spacing of 0. And as you can see, now we don't have any spacing. We can also align these like in center. It's already center. We can align it to leading or trailing. So to do so, let's change the width of these. So let's change it to 70. Let's change this as well to 70. And let's change this one to, let's say, 40. And this one also to a 40. Now we have something like this. Now let's say we want to see it in the leading alignment. So to do so, we have alignment and we can give it a leading alignment. And now as you can see, our rectangles are aligned to the leading edge. We can give it a trailing and it would be aligned to trailing edge. So this is quite useful when you're designing your layouts. Now let's see our last stack, which is ZStack. So let's see ZStack. And with ZStack, we don't have spacing, so we can remove this. And then with trailing alignment, you can see it looks like this. We can change it to center and it will look like this. So our stacks, our rectangles are now on top of each other as we have used the ZStack. So using these stacks, you can easily lay out your pages anyhow you want. It's very useful. And when you create your application, you will be using it quite a lot. Let's look into a real world example. Let's say you want to create a profile icon with a heart sign on it, showing how much love the picture got. To do so, let's create it in ZStack itself and let's create an image. So image, and inside the image, we want to have, let's say, our motivation image itself, in which we had our favorite actor, Shah Rukh Khan. And then let's resize it, resizable. We call it resizable to resize it and then give it a clip shape. And then as our profile pictures are always circular, let's clip it to a circle. And then as our hero's hair is missing, let's bring it back by using a frame of width of 300 and a height of 300. Now it is looking much better. Now let's say we want to add an heart icon at the trailing bottom. So to do so, let's create a heart icon first of all. So let's call another image and we can make it system name. And you can check in SF symbol. What we want is heart.fill. And you can see we have a small heart on top of our image. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's call it resizable and let's give it a width of 100 and let's give it a height of 100. And let's give it a color as well. So give it a foreground color of red color. Looks much better, but we don't want it in the center of our application. We want it at the trailing edge. So instead of center, I can say bottom trailing and the image will go at the bottom trailing of the other image. Now let's say I want to write the number of love we got on this image. So we can do that by calling a text. Let's say we got like 100 loves on this image. Then let's give it a font of large title and make it bold, and let's give it a color of white color. So foreground style dot white. Now this doesn't look right. It's coming at the bottom trailing itself, because it's coming at the bottom trailing of this one ZStack which we have. If we select over here, we can see this is the one ZStack we have, and every image is stacked on top of each other. And if we want this text on top of this image, what we have to do, we'll have to put these two in a different ZStack. So this is how we can do nested stacking. So ZStack, and now by default, as we have alignment of center, our text is now on top of our heart image, and this looks perfect. Now let's say we want to add profile name as well. So let's say we want to add name for this actor below this image. We can use our VStack for that. So we can put this whole ZStack inside a VStack, and in that we can create a text. So let's create a VStack first. Let's put this inside the VStack, and after this VStack, we want a text which would say Shah Rukh Khan. Let's make it a font large title and make it bold as well. And there we have it. So first we have our VStack, and inside VStack, we created our profile picture with an image, and we created profile name with a text. And then inside our ZStack, we have our profile picture. And then inside another ZStack, we created our heart icon with a text which is showing the number of love we got for this image. So this is how you can use stacks to lay out your pages for your mobile applications. This is it with this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.